Hi, I'm Melissa,
And I'm Jason.
and welcome to Wine and Horror. I'm quite nervous right now, and when I'm nervous, I either talk a whole lot or I don't talk at all, so bear with me. The channel is basically going to be about wine, horror movies, horror collectibles, unboxings. We're really into board games, so definitely that.
We'll be reviewing some games like this one periodically.
And that one's pretty funny, I'm sure. So, vinyl records. Both of us are really into music, so that's something we're going to be talking about all the time. In addition to wine and horror. So, that being said, we're drinking champagne right now to celebrate our new channel, and I'll let Jason here talk a little bit about the wine that we're drinking.
So tonight it should really be called Champagne and Horror. But anyway, we'll get to wines further on in other videos. But here's what we're drinking tonight. This is a Blanc de Blanc champagne from a winery called El Mauby. That stands for Larry Mauby. And believe it or not, this wine's actually made in Michigan, in northern Michigan. A lot of people wouldn't expect that. Some people know there's a wine region up there. Some of the wines are good, some are bad. This is one of the exceptional ones, I would say. That area is along the 45th parallel in latitude for you geography experts out there, which kind of falls right in line with some of the better wine regions in France. So many people wouldn't think that that northern Michigan would be a wine country, but it is. And there's some little peninsulas that stick off the kind of the baby finger, so to speak, of Michigan. When you look at it, it looks like a mitten, right? So the Leelanau Peninsula in that area is a pretty good wine area. Larry Mauby's been making champagne there for a long time, and he does it well. I would put this wine up against some of the better ones that are a lot more expensive. This wine, it retails on their website for about $23 a bottle. If you have friends in the industry, you can actually get this for about $17 or $18 a bottle. And it drinks more like probably a $35 bottle, in my opinion.
Which is a great bargain bottle of wine, by the way.
Yes, yes. So, tell you a little bit about this one. It's a Brut, which is a drier champagne.
Which I absolutely prefer.
Yeah, definitely. It's made from Chardonnay grapes. They're pressed as full clusters of grapes for this wine or this champagne. Champagne, when it's made, it's usually fermented twice, at least. So typically, you won't usually see a year or a vintage on a champagne. Sometimes you do, but not as often as you do on still wine or regular wine. With champagne, typically you will take the juice from this year and you will ferment it, and then after it's done fermenting in a large, usually like a stainless steel cask or giant barrel, then you will take that juice, that fermented juice, and you will mix it with juice from the previous 2 years, and then that will be fermented again, and that will happen usually in the bottle, and then it's stored for a couple of years before it's released at that point. So again, that area of Michigan where this comes from, it's not known for some of your heavier red wines. For instance, they make some in that area, but they're not that great typically. But it's they do grow some good Chardonnay in that area. When you get into reds, some nice Pinot Noirs come from that area. Some of the lighter reds like Pinot. Or some of the sweet wines too, some of the ice wines and things like that aren't really for my palate, but some folks like that stuff.
You don't want to drink Merlot or Cabernet that comes from Michigan. It's absolutely a big no-no.
No, not at all. But this one's pretty good, and so a shout out to El Mauby, one of our all-time favorites. And they have a cool little saying on here that I wanted to read. So their own description, it says, "She's light, she's lively, blonde and bubbly. She's not French, but her kiss makes your tongue dance." And I would agree. So, Melissa, you want to tell them about some food pairings?
Yes, so a lot of the good food pairings that go well with champagne, one thing I like is fruit. So, like this is a cherry that I pitted earlier. Any kind of fruit goes really well with wine. Well, not all wine, but with champagne. Typically, I like pineapple, cherries, strawberries, anything like that's going to go really well with champagne. Another thing is tonight we have cheese, and that cheese is the rosemary and olive oil Asiago. This runs about $5 for a little wedge. It's not too expensive, but it's actually really, really good. And the little chunks of rosemary are just fabulous. That's what we're going to be talking about most of the time on our channel is wine, horror movies, most things that we're interested in, which is music and board games and vinyl records, but mostly wine and horror. So, you know, if you're not into all that other stuff, that's cool, you know, whatever. But maybe you come by and you watch anyway because you might learn something new. So, and maybe get involved in some new stuff. So, anyway, for now, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Cheers.